This video is sponsored by Bityard. With over 400 cryptocurrencies to choose from on their spot exchange, dozens of USDT pairs for futures trading, perpetual coin futures, trade commodities like gold, silver and oil, Forex, and major indices like Nasdaq. You can buy crypto from Bityard with over 50 different fiat currencies using Visa, MasterCard, Google or Apple Pay. If you like, you can use their copy trade facility, follow other traders who will execute trades on your behalf, or become a copy trader yourself. So if you want a bit of that, click the link in the description. Hello everybody, welcome back. So I'm going to make this video, hopefully it'll stand the test of time. This isn't, relevant to this specific moment in time. I made a video this morning about how a potential alt season could be generated soon, but it would only be a small one. But, using the Bitcoin dominance chart as an overview of whether you want to have a larger Bitcoin position or a larger altcoin position is always worthy of recognizing and understanding it. Despite being down at these significant lows, we can still anticipate small rotations from Bitcoin into altcoins. But the rule of thumb is the higher the Bitcoin dominance chart, the more likely it is you're going to go into a rotation of a large extent. And so the higher we go on this chart, especially as we approach resistances, and again, each resistance requires a small reshuffle of portfolio from Bitcoins to altcoins. But the higher we go, the more altcoins you want to have in your portfolio as a rule of thumb. And obviously if we ever get to the highest points, which we've been in the past, here and here, I wouldn't say go all in, but maybe a 75% altcoin position at these levels would not be a bad idea, because of course the alt season is always going to be much more prolonged and greater the higher the Bitcoin dominance chart is when it gets rejected. So obviously we're down here at the moment. Again, this is where we are at this very moment in the market. Doesn't make itself a very favourable environment for trading altcoins, obviously, because the lower the Bitcoin dominance chart, the more of a Bitcoin position you'd want to have. So the greater Bitcoin position. So alternate into altcoins around here, and then taking some chips off the table back into altcoins, back into Bitcoin on the way down is the way. And obviously the lower you go, especially down at these significant lows, we've obviously made another low down here in the past, but down at these major significant lows is a huge support. So every time we would come down to something as low as this, you'd want to get out of your altcoins into a larger Bitcoin position. Whether that's if Bitcoin moves up or the market moves down, you'll be better off in a Bitcoin position than an altcoin position if if you're trying to if you want to keep skin in the game. You'll lose less in a Bitcoin position than you would in an altcoin position, and this is one of the main factors to that. Is that obviously we all know that when altcoins go down, they go down significantly, they go down fast, they take a while to recover, some might not even ever recover, whereas Bitcoin remains relatively strong. It loses money obviously, but to a much lesser extent. So just to recap, obviously larger altcoin positions, the higher the dominance chart, larger Bitcoin position, the lower the dominance chart. And each one of these areas that have been marked off on this is obviously corresponding to previous support stroke resistances, some more relevant than others, but generally we're looking for rejections, or at least small rejections on any one of these, as we would be looking for supports on any one of these. It depends how dramatic the market is. Effectively, this was an enormous dramatic move all the way from the top to the bottom. Outside of this, where altcoins effectively became fashionable and tradable, this has been the biggest alt season that's ever been, the biggest and fastest alt season that's ever been, and it kind of has spoilt a lot of people into thinking that this is what the crypto market is normally like, but it's really not like this. This is pretty rare, doesn't often happen, but usually you would expect a decent alt season at least once a year. And guess where they would be? It doesn't matter if we're bull market, bear market or sideways, you can determine an alt season is more likely as we approach significant resistances. So at the moment, we are approaching this one, and we've had alt seasons in the past, even in the face of a bear market. So bear market began around here. This was bear market in full swing, and we found ourselves a rotation. So if you were holding a Bitcoin position and you rotated into an altcoin position around this level, you would have come back down to this level of support, the support that we've been dancing around recently. And so just as a reference, we can see where that happened. I've got a couple of charts up, and again back down here we were not as spoilt for choice as we were for altcoins recently. So I brought up an old classic, a good old friend of ours, which is Ethereum, and we've also got EOS, we've also got XRP. Okay, yeah, love it or hate it, but these were the big players back in the day. And so this is our bear market. Once we hit this level, bear market began, we came down, we were also on a weekly, same as the dominance chart, and we found ourselves a support here, 1st of April 2018. And this is a Ethereum Bitcoin chart. So this shows how much you would have gained if you would have gone into from your Bitcoin position into an Ethereum position. From the bottom to the top, within a bear market, you would have increased your Bitcoin position by 61%. Obviously, if you would have got in at the bottom and out at the top. Good way to work how think about how that could have taken place would have been to check the Bitcoin dominance chart. Oh god, bear market full swing as we move up. Bitcoin obviously losing a lot less than altcoins did on the way down, until we approach this level, 2nd of April 2018, in this, roughly within this area of this box of support stroke resistance. Support over here, now resistance over here. Also this area being something that we're looking to approach soon. Whether you're a bull market, bear market, doesn't really matter. Rotations take place, and so we got one there. That was your Ethereum. Let's have a look. XRP did something similar. XRP was a beast move, so massive big bull market bubble pop. And here we go down to April 2nd. We can measure this one out. And just from the dominance chart peaking, we moved to the tune of 60%, so same as Ethereum, exactly the same. And then obviously all the way back down as altcoins outperformed Bitcoin in that short term. Came down to the support that we've been looking at this entire time. So you'd be thinking, obviously back down here it was less relevant, we'd never been down here, but since we've been down here recently, and the chart has matured over several years since then, yeah, it's more relevant now. It's more relevant, which is why alternating into a Bitcoin position on this support has always been a good idea. And again, we see how the dominance chart rallied all the way up to this particular level at this stage now, and that was a 62% dominance. Once we got there on the September 11th 2018, we can have a look at the charts over here. So September the 11th 2018, the whoopee-doo, here we go. So another major alt season took place over a very short space of time, over a couple of weeks, really 2 or 3 weeks. XRP did a 192% move. And again, where did that take place and why? It took place from a major horizontal support stroke resistance. So support, now resistance, from a higher level. The higher the level, the more significant the alt season would be. Again, that was pretty aggressive. If you managed to rotate your Bitcoin into an altcoin at the right time, determined by the Bitcoin dominance chart, you would of course made some serious gains. That's XRP alone was over almost a 200% move. Again, there's no point in looking at all these other charts, but they will have been similar too. And then lo and behold, rejection and support, and then we continue to move up. And look here where we go now, September 14th 2019. This is where you would look for an ultimate position, and this of course is a slightly different scenario because there was many other altcoins out at the time. But we were looking around this level here. XRP is probably not a great example because XRP was in its own little thing going on. But September, here we go, September 2019, and effectively what you did here, if you were to have alternated into it, would have been to have caught the Ethereum actual bottom. You would have caught the bottom. You would have been outperforming Bitcoin to the tune of, at this very moment in time, 284%. So if you would have bought one bit, I suppose $1,000 of Bitcoin or $1,000 of Ethereum, the Bitcoin dominance chart would have helped you gauge effectively the bottom of the market and outperform Bitcoin. So if you were all in Ethereum or all in Bitcoin, you could have made that decision by just simply using the Bitcoin dominance chart, working out which one is going to be your best bang for the buck. And Ethereum would have been the one, continues to be the one, and you would have caught the absolute low. So again, it's not a secret magic sauce, but it's definitely something to refer to, especially if you're interested in trading altcoins or just being in the crypto market anyway. People feel as though that this chart is less relevant now than it's ever been, because I don't know why. I hear it all the time, but it's not. It's clearly relevant. It's been relevant since here, which is not that long ago. We crushed the market going into altcoins. It's been relevant every time we come down to the support, where we get back into a safer Bitcoin position. Let's nestle back into our Bitcoin position position. I'm not saying that that is the ultimate trade. Obviously Bitcoin goes down as well as everything else, but to a much larger altcoins to a larger extent. Effectively you're looking to make the most out of any kind of rotation, and it's going to become more relevant soon. As we can see, we can also turn on many other indicators here, which is, again, without blowing your mind, the horizontals are the most important thing, but we can also see that Bitcoin is the Bitcoin dominance chart is gearing up for a much larger move, which is something that we should relatively kind of excited about if you choose to view and trade the market the way I do, which is through a rotation event, with Bitcoin being your main trading pair, not so much worrying about what the Bitcoin's worth, just thinking about stacking up more Bitcoin. So whether Bitcoin's worth 30,000 or 60,000 doesn't really matter. I just want to know if I can create one Bitcoin into two Bitcoins relatively easily, and this is the way to do it. And at the moment what we do see is a chart that's been, first of all, we can see that it's about to get its golden cross. It's also got a conversion baseline cross, got Ichimoku cloud above the cloud, which means a continuation of a trend from here. So it definitely looks like it wants to go on to make new highs on this one and break through these resistances over time. And we're also above the 0 point on the MACD. There's everything bullish about this chart, in all fairness, but again, we can turn all that off and focus simply just on the horizontals and get a relatively good fix on it in itself, right? So I thought I'd bring this back to the channel, see if this video stands the test of time. It's something that you should always refer to, in my opinion. If you're looking to stay in the crypto market through up, down, or sideways, it doesn't really matter. It's a very useful chart, and if your style is going to be like mine, which is I just want to make as many Bitcoins as possible, I don't care what they're worth, I'm in it for the long haul, I want to turn 1 into 2, and 2 into 4, and 4 into 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10, going on and on indefinitely, this is the way to do it. Or this is a component to it. It's like when you're looking to cross the road, right? So am I going to just cross the road? Am I just going to walk across a road, or am I going to look left and look right and make sure that everything's safe? And in order to do that, as a bit of a terrible analogy, you would check the Bitcoin dominance chart first of all to see if I'm going to enter into Wreck City, or if I am actually going to ride the wave of effectively a giant rotation from Bitcoin into altcoins. And then you go back into your Bitcoin position. So, like I say, it's still relevant. We can see all of that, and I imagine the relevance is going to remain. This is basically what Bitcoin and altcoins are going to continue to do for probably a long period of time. Regardless of how you choose to interpret the market right now, this has held so far for the last 4 years, and I imagine it's going to continue to hold for years to come. So, I'll leave it with you there. Hopefully that was something you've, enjoyed or recognized as useful. Otherwise, please let me know in the comments, and I'll look forward to the trolls. Anyway, take it easy. Thanks for watching.